Will sucks. Will's always sucked. I've been day one member of the anti-Will task force. He's an incel. That's the thing about him.
For a moment, aren't we all incels?
I'm a volcel, bro. Who needs it?
Oh no! In the last 2 episodes, you have told us that you are voluntary celibate twice.
Right. Maybe there's something to unpack there.
Yeah, so true. Welcome back to Binge and Cringe. Oh my god, this is going to be a great episode, Stans, and I assume you're wearing a suit ready for the occasion.
Absolutely. It's the end of the year awards. I know you can't see me, but you will be able to validate when you edit this that I am fully tuxed up. I have a bow tie, I have a cummerbund, and everything
You
is
have
right
a
with
what
the world.
babund?
I have a cummerbund, my friend.
What is your babund doing?
It's cumbing.
Oh?
It's cumbing, man.
Yeah, I'll like to say also I'm not wearing a suit, so usually when I say those things,
dress up. Yeah,
yeah. When I say those things, I make you feel bad because I dress up and I don't tell you that I'm going to dress up. I'm just wearing what I would regularly wear.
What if I actually went back
killer.
and looked at this intro and shot for shot recreated it in a suit? Because you know I'm not wearing a suit right now, and sent it to you.
Wait, what is that?
That means I would have to watch this and I'd have to recreate it over the same audio, like moving my mouth.
You know those videos where they can like press play on a video and say the whole entire thing, like beat
just like that, but it'll be me in a suit.
That would be sick. You should actually do that right now.
No, I have way too many things to do. We just talked about that off stream.
Yes, but today is not only is it the Glee Awards, but also the episode of Glee we're going to be watching, which is the one after the mid-season finale, is Juice. We hinted at it at the end of last episode. We're not going to talk about it yet, but it's great.
This is also either our first episode of 2024 or our last episode of 2023. So there's some good vibes there. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome into the new year. Hope everything's going well. Or we're still in 2023. Either one.
Yeah. Hey, Biden decriminalized marijuana. That's cool.
That is cool. That's going to be so outdated by now. Woo! So, the Glee Awards. We are mid-season, and I figured when we get to the end of Glee Season 1, there is going to be so much already to, like, recap and go over.
Right. We should split it in parts.
There might be plot lines and characters now that wouldn't get a look in for the end of the season, but still deserve some fucking recognition, you know?
Right. Of course.
So, today, we are going to be going over best characters, worst characters, best songs, worst songs, best storylines, and worst storylines.
Okay.
Now, I have some nominations for each of these categories, so don't worry, Stans, you don't have to remember the names.
Great. I will have you know that off stream, he asked me who Shu's wife was, and I immediately said Terry.
That is true, but it was whilst you were looking up the synopsis of every single episode of Glee that we've watched so far.
It's where preparation meets opportunity, bro. That's what they call luck.
If you're looking at the words that says the character's name and you remember the name, that's not remembering, that's reading.
But
I want to be very clear.
Putting in the work, you know what I'm saying?
There is a reason you have to do revision before you go into a science exam, and that you can't just read the textpook that's next to you.
Right, but if I had the textbook, though, it would be fine, because then I could say the answer.
Yes, very true. Hey, you should just bring a calculator into a maths exam. That'd be easy. I
can't believe no one's thought of that yet.
So let's start off. Which category do you want to start off with, Stans? Characters, songs, or storyline?
I want to start off with best characters, because I think that's like all-encompassing throughout the season. Songs, sometimes we forget, sometimes we remember, but characters is forever.
I was going to do a separate category that's like best acting or actors.
Right.
But I feel like almost the performances of the characters make that character as well, so it's kind of both.
It's like a mixed category.
Yeah, like if that character is so well done by a specific actor, then it makes them a good character, so they're probably on the list. So the nominees for best character are Sue Sylvester,
interesting,
Rachel Berry,
yes,
and Kurt Hummel.
Three. Kurt, did I hear you right?
Sorry, are you annoyed at Kurt being up there for best character?
Hey, I understand that there's always going to be a lamb to the slaughter when there's like a very deserving winner.
Fuck you, no! This Kurt is up there for the specific reason that I was talking about actor. I genuinely believe Kurt's acting and his performances in all the scenes that he is in are leagues above a lot of the characters in the show.
I would put him up there for best
especially
actor.
the kids.
But I also think that the best character side pushes him too low. Like, he is the best actor of the first half of the season. It's not even close, honestly.
Right, so he deserves a nod in the best character.
And he's getting a nod
because his character is really, really good.
Yeah,
and you specifically hate his character for the whole trying to turn Finn gay part, which I completely understand.
He was mischievous. He was a mischievous guy.
But I like the mischievous part. I love the every time he is in any scene whatsoever, and I think this is partly because Kurt's character was literally written for the actor that plays him. Like, there wasn't a Kurt character in the show. They wrote it around him, which is so sick. But he steals every scene he's in, Stans. Every time we watch any song, he's always in the background slaying, and we always talk about how fucking sick he is.
But that doesn't mean I care enough about his character or the things they are doing to drive the story for me to vote for him.
I'm fine with that. That is okay. He doesn't need to get the vote. I'm just saying he is deservingly up there with best character, I think.
Hey, perfect. I will not be voting for him.
Neither will I, to be fair. Because I think I know where your vote's going. Mine's definitely not. I vote for Sue.
She's not even in every episode.
But she's the same as Kurt, but like actually, right? She steals every single show, every single episode, every single scene she's in. She is partly the reason that I can deal with some of the episodes, because the A plots are always bad and she's usually in the B plots, and she fucking kills.
Well, if you're picking Sue, I think it's very obvious to everyone listening that I am picking Rachel Berry, because not only is she an excellent singer, not only is she a phenomenal actor, but her character is also based as hell. She hasn't done anything cringe yet, and I know that everyone votes for hating Rachel
that's crazy.
Berry.
That's crazy. She has done cringe things, but she is less cringe than she ends up being.
She's
she
less
has
cringe
still
than
done
every
lots
other
of
character
cringe
in the
things.
show. But less than everyone else. She's always on the side of right. She's always on the side of right. That's the thing about her.
There are other characters that I think that are more cringe than her, but she is definitely deserving of the cringe title currently.
I think if we disagree on a nomination, it should be commenter's choice. So we'll see what they say.
No, I'm gonna say that I'm willing to secede this one, and that Rachel can be best character because she is the character. She. Especially with sectionals, her in that whole entire episode and the performance of it, you have to take the songs into account for like best character, I think.
So true.
So Sue can't compete. But I do think Rachel is very cringe, which is why she is also nominated for worst character.
Oh, imagine a sweep here. Who are the other nominees?
That would be insane. So Rachel is nominated for worst character. We also have Quinn nominated for worst character.
Yeah, true.
And we also have, can't do it without him, Mr. Shu nominated for worst character.
Ooh, this is a close one. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I agree that it's close, and I think it's close between the same two characters that you're probably thinking, because I think Rachel. Quinn. Yeah, Rachel deserves to be on the list, but she's not winning this.
This is basically the Kurt conundrum from the first one, where it's like you got to put Rachel up there, but she's not. She has no business winning it. This is tough because Quinn has maybe had higher highs and lower lows, where she has been extreme cringe, but where she's also been like a sympathetic character. You understand she's like a teen pregnant.
She's almost the worst character because the writers don't know what the fuck to do with her. She is like flip-flopping between opinions every episode, and that's the annoying part. Like if she was just like, worst isn't like she's evil, right? If she was just evil, I'd love her.
Yeah,
but
she'd be a fun
it's
character.
the fact that it's the fact that she keeps on going between the two sides. So yeah, that's why it's bad. So maybe it's obviously it's the writing and it's less the performance, because I think Quinn kills
Her performance has been great. Yeah.
You
know what actually tips the scales for me?
Go on.
Shu is an adult. One is like a pregnant teen, and Shu is an adult. So I pick Shu as worst character. Actually, now that I think about it, it's like it's an easy.
We've also like towards the latter end of mid-season, it's been less about Mr. Shoe, but you have to go back to those first couple of episodes where it was the Mr. Shoe show.
Drugs and almost cheating on his wife and stuff.
Yeah, everything bad that happened in the first 4 episodes was all Mr. Shoe, and I couldn't believe it rewatching because in my mind he was great. I was like, yeah, he's a little cringe, but I was going into it expecting to hate Rachel, and I left the first 5 episodes going Mr. Shoe's a piece of shit. He actually sucks.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we're unanimously agreeing Mr. Shoe wins Worst Character Award.
Man, so far so easy.
This is where I think it's going to get a little tricky, Stans.
Got it.
Let's move on to the songs. Nominees for the best song of Glee Mid-Season Awards are Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Has to be included. It's
fair. It's one of those sectional songs. Yeah, it was big.
Rain on My Parade by Rachel.
Yeah.
Again, these almost don't need an explanation as to why they're included.
Correct.
Moving on to that same theming, I'm Telling You from Mercedes.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Same episode, 2 bangers from that same episode. It might have recency bias, but they are the GOATs.
Right. They're the best singers on the show, so it's easy.
Yes. And then I added a 4th because I couldn't not mention it, but I don't think you're going to vote for it, but it's my choice. The It's My Life / Confessions mashup from the mashup episode.
Yeah, it was good. I actually don't hate it being in there, but I
think it's the best mashup of so far, at least. And for Glee, I think there needs to be a mention of a mashup in best songs for sure. Even though the other performances are really good. Maybe it's one of those where it gets a nom, but it doesn't get the win.
Yeah.
Because even though I think it's my personal favorite from where we are so far, I think any of the other 3 are more deserving of it just because of the iconicness of the performances of them. What do you think ekes it out, Stans? What's your winner?
So my gut immediately said Rain on My Parade because I'm Rachel Berry-pilled, but I do have a little bit of an issue with it in that is a solo. And it doesn't take into account everyone else on the Glee crew, which makes it hard. I think I still go with it, but if you ask me at the end of the season, I presume there will be something that makes me feel more that is more of an ensemble thing.
Yeah, but for now, Stans.
Yeah, for now it's Rain on My Parade. Yeah.
Okay, sick. Because I think Don't Stop Believing is too iconic outside of the show, right?
Correct.
It's almost overplayed.
They didn't actually do something different to it as much as, Rachel.
No, I don't even say that. I think they definitely made it its own. I think you're cringe for thinking that. You're the only person that knew about this song before Glee. You are old and cringe.
It's literally the most streamed song on Spotify we looked up, and you're insane.
Yeah, because of Glee, dude.
Of course.
So, yeah, I don't think that it's that. I think literally the Glee version of it is so cliche at this point, again, outside of Glee. Yeah. Whereas the others don't really see the light of day. And I honestly, it's so tough for me between It's tough for me between Rain on My Parade and I'm Telling You.
That's fair.
Because
Mercedes has pipes.
Yeah, just Mercedes is fucking sick. But specifically, even contextually in the show, there's 2 moments, one in each song, that are so good. The part where Rachel goes, and I bring my band out, and they start walking down the aisles.
Yeah.
That is yo, goosebumps, dude. Amazing. And then that final note that Mercedes hits in I'm Telling You, when it cuts to Rachel and she's crying because she can't believe how fucking amazing Mercedes is as a singer, is fuck. Both of those moments are so good, and they're peak level of those performers. So I think I'm going to have to go with I'm Telling You, just because I am so much of an advocate of Mercedes doing more and being more in the show. It would be cringe to be oh, well, Rachel wins.
Yeah, to back off there. This is crazy. I don't know if I'm willing to back down. I think I want this to go to the people.
I'm fine with this going to the people. I think they both are deserving of it. It could go either way.
Yeah, I would honestly a joint award. I would think this is totally fine.
Yeah, I'm happy to handshakes and say they can share the award for sure.
Perfect. Let's just do that.
As long as you acknowledge that Rachel will get so many more opportunities than Mercedes, and it's cringe, but she's also really good, so it's tough.
Right.
Okay, let's go on to the more fun award stands. The worst song.
I mean, should we just give it to Gold Digger right now?
I was just about to say, I want you to try and guess the nominees.
Yeah, it's Gold Digger again, Gold Digger the third.
Gold Digger 3 times. No, Gold Digger is up there. That is true.
Yeah.
But there are 2 songs that you might have forgotten about. Spoiler alert, Will Schuester sings all of the worst songs.
That tracks, actually. Oh, him singing the love song to Rachel's probably on your list.
Yes, Don't Stand / Young Girl is definitely, I think, the worst, but I don't think it's even Will Schuster's fault. I think that's just like, why did they do that? Why did anyone write that?
Context, though, I think it was good. You know what I mean? Like, if you heard that no context, you think it was a good performance.
Yes, I completely agree. He does kill it. Matthew Morrison, the actor, fucking slays that song. I will happily listen to it, in my own time. But in the context of the show, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's
and one that I wouldn't listen to outside of the show, and the context of it is fucking insane.
Okay.
Thong Song, dude.
Oh, you're right. Actually, 100%. That I actually wiped it from my brain. It was terrible.
Emma in a wedding dress, and he's like twerking on her and talking about her thong, and she's creaming her jorts. It's crazy.
Married. Yeah, it is crazy. I forgot about it. I actually don't want to talk about it anymore. So
that's
down
it.
To
we
just
can move on.
It.
That's worst. Let's move on. Gold Digger can have the pat on the head, but Thong Song wins.
Oh yeah, Gold Digger honestly is not even close now that I remember that. So fair enough. Yeah.
It is so funny that Will Schuester did all 3 of the worst songs. I'm sure we're going to get some hate in the comments for that because there's probably a worse song that I didn't remember, but those are bad. I think they're all deserving to be up there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else, but not really.
Okay, so let's move on to the storyline stands. This, for me, is obviously I love the songs, I love the characters. This is the core of the show. This is the part that I was surprised that you would care so much about, right? The the drama-iness and the oh my God, what's going to happen next? Kind of this is the part that I think you thought was going to be really cringe and is actually the driving force of the show or the storylines.
Oh, interesting. To me, going into it, I knew I was going to like this because it's just oh, will they, won't they? You know what I mean? The building of tension. I just thought
but
I wasn't
the first
gonna
episode,
like the
you were
songs.
surprised at the angle that it took.
Yeah, well, the first episode was very funny, and that's what blew me away. I was like, wait, I'm laughing so hard. So I'm excited to talk about the best storylines. What are the nominees?
So again, coming up with, because there's we
so
discuss every single episode, there is 7 storylines per episode. So I just did all of this off the top of my head. Nominees for the best storyline mid-season Glee Awards are anything involving Kurt and his dad.
Right, you loved anything involving Kurt and their dad. They had 2 episodes dedicated to them. Both were very good.
Both were very good, which is crazy because it was a semi-homophobic dad, basically, but they somehow did it really well for the time.
Yeah, I mean, he was honest, again, for the time. He's semi-homophobic now, but at the time it was very progressive. He was like, are you sure I can't turn you not gay? Well, if I can't, I guess I love you. You know what I mean? It was that far,
Also nominated is Terry's fake pregnancy and the whole Schuster finding out
at the end. Yeah, that actually
culminating. We've had an actual finale for that storyline, basically, of him nearly hitting his wife, which was fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then one that we haven't had a culmination of. Quinn's who's the father kind of storyline. She's not given birth, but I think we've got to the end of, because we had the reveal, right? That we know
and the fist
everyone
fight
knows.
Puck and Finn and stuff,
So that part of that storyline is over. So I think this can be included for the mid-season. Those are the 3 storyline stands. What's the biggest for you?
I think for me, I would have to take pregnant Quinn. Because it makes sense in a show about high school drama that she got pregnant.
Right.
There was a lot of branching roads. You think it's Finn. It also was able to intersperse comedy into something that's a pretty serious topic, like teenage pregnancy, the hot tub stuff, or
the hot tub stuff was crazy. It was crazy that in the fucking, when Finn was really, really annoyed, he brought up the hot tub. He was like, you lied about the hot tub, which threw me out of it completely because of how absurd it is. But also, it kind of makes sense for a kid going through that to be that whole thing that you made up was just a lie to convince me that I was the father of your kid. That's so fucked.
And then you've also like told me I need to be a better dad and do all these things. It's just like those moments were so powerful that I think that's what I would pick. Although the Schuster monologue at the end was very good, so I wouldn't be surprised if that got some votes.
Yeah, Quinn and Finn, I think, both respectively put in amazing performances throughout that storyline. Especially Finn at the end when he was like saying all that to Quinn and the aggression towards Puck and stuff. He dude, he killed it. Corey Monteith, I think is his last name. Great actor. So that storyline, I can understand if it wins. But for me, it's all the Kurt dad stuff. Like, genuinely, the performances there are fucking amazing. It tugged at the heartstrings. Every scene, both of the episodes that were revolving around Kurt and his dad, I cried in. It was so good, so well done for the time. And even looking back, it's like you can understand the point of view of every single person involved. Like, you understand where they're coming from and that it's...
Yeah, no one is literally just like
well.
a punching bag to be like, oh, this is the bigot, we hate him. It was like, oh, they're like kind of reasonable, everyone,
and they also managed to cover like a slur and not do it cringe. And this show came out in 2009? That's actually... That deserves an award in itself. So... it's only been 2 episodes, and that for me, I want more of Kurt's dad.
Interesting. Okay, for me, I feel like it's over, and I'm happy with it. But I could also respect wanting more.
I also know that there's more, so I guess maybe that's blinding my judgment. I'm happily giving it to the Quinn, who's the father storyline. But sound off in the comments what you prefer.
Of course. Yeah, we should do a YouTube community post actually, and with like the poll.
Yes,
or whatever,
very
and
true.
See what we can do. Yeah, it'd be fun.
And then my favorite award, probably the worst storylines. This one was really fucking tricky because almost any A-plot from any of the episodes ever could be nominated for this.
Okay, you really hated the A-plots, but that's fair.
Most of them were just really bad. In fact, I've just remembered another one. Let me add this. There's 4.
Add it.
I think the one that I've just remembered might be the winner.
Okay, interesting.
So we have first nominee, the Leaking Sectionals Setlist episode, where the whole entire episode was Will Schuster going to other schools and accusing them of stealing the songs for the sectionals, which ended up happening and ended up being true, but he didn't know that at the time, and so it was cringe in the show. And also for us watching, nothing interesting happened in any of those scenes, and it all felt like filler and cringe.
True. It was a very filler-heavy episode.
Yeah.
Scarlet Fever, he points at his ear for the 15th time. You're like, why does he keep saying it?
Yeah. Next nomination, Everyone's Disabled for a Day. Woo! Where they all just were in wheelchairs, and then they did a baking sale, but they're also in wheelchairs. And then, it was just the fact that the one episode that was around Artie ended up being
about his disability.
Yeah. Which is, ended up, the actual episode was good, and it felt like almost the B plot of that was him talking to Tina and like addressing things. There was actually like a storyline there that wasn't just I'm disabled, but all of the being in the wheelchair parts, I could have, it was just such a gimmick, and turning wheelchairs into a gimmick is kind of crazy.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
Third nominee is the whole of the Acapellas thing, because what the fuck was that, dude? It's not the Will Schuster show. Who gives a fuck? That was such a crazy episode.
3. And he was also like a piece of shit there, because he went from like, I want to teach the kids to, oh, now I want to be famous. And it was
and they didn't address any of that at all. None of the kids in the show seemed to care that he didn't want to be part of the Glee Club anymore.
They just
and then
went
he
on
just
with
comes back. Yeah. He comes back, no one addresses it, and it was like, is this supposed to be... Because since then, every episode is linked to the next one, and the thoughts and feelings from the episode carry through, but it felt like nothing carried through in that episode at all. It was like you could remove that, and everything else is the same.
Agreed.
And surprise nominee number 4... The whole mattress store, club photo, school photo storyline of that episode. Because what the fuck was going on there, dude?
Yeah,
that
they
was
just
crazy.
needed a reason for Schuster to get kicked out. And it's like, oh, they're professionals now because they got paid, and he took the mattress, and it
And
also
he
like
slept on the mattress.
it
Which
kind of
is like
stepped
so
on his
weird.
storyline of him and his wife, which was like kind of powerful
Yeah.
and important, and it made it like kind of a cheesy thing. Oof,
Yeah,
man,
and
is that the
that
worst stuff?
storyline started from. I remember us talking about it in the post commentary. It was like Rachel wants the Glee Club to be in the thing, so they nominate her as the captain, and then she's the only one that turns up, and then she gets a job like working for the photographer's fucking
Yeah.
acting thing, and then she's like, "Hey, the whole Glee Club could do it," and then they all of a sudden randomly jump on fucking sofas for a commercial and sing "Jump." Jump
Yeah.
was very good, but that's a side to the plot, and then
Yeah. And
because
the-
of that, then
Oh,
it does
you
the
first.
Schuster thing. It was just like so convoluted and cringe.
Even worse, it was bookended. The start of it is like, we're not going to have a photo in the Glee Club because people just vandalize it. And then the end of the episode, they just vandalized it. And it was like,
And
so it's
none of
truly
the
a nothing.
Glee Club people like acted about it at all. And then it was like played off as a joke because it was Santana that was the person that was like
Yeah, or Brittany. or
graffitiing
something.
all over it.
Yeah.
But like, what was the point of any of it if it didn't matter in the end?
It
Right?
literally, at the end of the episode, we just needed Schuster to be out of the Glee Club, and that's all that
Yes.
mattered. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of a wasted of an episode, yeah.
So, I think the theming is like plots that don't affect the overarching storyline that they basically try and retcon afterwards.
Yes.
Which for me is the mattress store and Acafellas.
Uh-huh.
And since talking about Acafellas, how he literally just leaves the Glee Club and no
Yeah.
one cares, and then he's back.
Yeah.
That is crazy that was episode 3 of
Yeah,
the show.
I vote for Acafellas. I remember
Yeah,
watching that and
I'm
being
down.
like, especially because we thought Will Schuster was cringe at the time. It's like, yeah, he's actually just like the worst person. He does not care about these kids whatsoever. Yeah.
Looking back, that was crazy. So I'm down for that to win. But every one of the other ones also pretty cringe. So it's very close.
Fully agreed.
So I think we have officially handed out all the awards. You, like I said, sound off in the comments. Let us know if we missed a nomination. I read every comment. There's not that many. I will
Did you
be
read the
responding
one that
to
was
all
like,
of them.
Finn sucks? And then I replied, like, finally, someone gets it.
No, wait, because I assume that you don't read the comments, so I never click on like ones we've responded to. So I only read the ones I haven't. So that must have come through before I saw
There's
it.
another
Stans.
truther out there that's like, dude, Finn's just all auto-tune. He sucks ass.
No,
Yeah. There's
what?
two of us now. There's
and you
two of
didn't
us.
delete them from the channel, Stans?
No,
What the fuck?
I actually pinned their comment. I didn't. But,
Did you actually? That would be
no,
crazy.
no. I just replied. I said, hey, Stan's here. I agree.
People were, I can't remember what it was, but people were leaving comments and I was just replying with wrong.
Oh, dude, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It was like Curly and people. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was about Curly left a comment saying, I don't want to be on the side of Stans, but
Yeah.
I've been to a
Oh, the
restaurant
Jaffa
and had a
cake thing.
fancy Jaffa cake.
Yeah, of
I
course.
just
There was
replied with
multiple
wrong.
of those I saw, actually.
Yeah, but they're all wrong. So yeah, leave your comments. We'll respond. We'll have some beef in the comments. I'm sure if I've forgotten one, I will probably agree with you. So just let us know. Moving on from the award stands, it's time for possibly one of the best episodes of Glee ever.
You say this every week, so it means nothing to me.
Okay, but you have to admit, last episode was possibly one of the best episodes of Glee ever, right?
Yeah, of course, but it was good. But you say that so often that it could be good.
This
it could be bad.
episode actually is stands. We have not only is Jonathan Groff joining this episode,
Okay.
but we have Adele Delzeem.
Oh, Adele, who? Not Idina Menzel? Sorry, I was thinking of singer.
yeah, no, you're right. Idina Menzel. I was doing the meme.
Oh, I was like, wait, who? Is she really in this episode? That's great. She's a
Yeah,
beast.
both of them are in this episode. Because now we've moved past sectionals, we're going for regionals, which means the competition has stepped up. And oh boy, is it going to be fucking good. I can't wait. No spoilies, apart from, it's like minor spoiler that they're in it, I guess. But if you don't know what characters that they're playing and what the plot lines are going to be, that's not a spoiler. So it's fine.
Okay,
Because
got it.
just knowing they're in the episode, who gives a fuck? It's cool that they're in the episode. It's sick. It's going to be great. And I'm so excited. And it is one of the best episodes of Glee ever. And Jonathan Groff plays my favorite character in Glee of all time ever. So let's do it.
Let's
You
do
ready?
it. I'm ready.
If you aren't already on the Patreon and not watching along with us, you should. It's really good. We've been doing a bunch of extra things. If you don't know what a pantomime is, I've done a review of a fucking pantomime that I went to. Stans probably doesn't know what the fuck a pantomime is.
I've seen it. I've seen this show in British. It's the Christmas thing.
I've seen the show in British. It's the Christmas,
thing. It's like they had the guy who dresses like a woman does it sometimes.
Okay, a pantomime is a type of show. You're saying it like it's a specific movie or like.
I've only ever seen it in relation to like Christmas and.
Yeah. So you tell like a fairy tale in like a certain style. If you want to know, hey, tune in to the Binge and Cringe on it. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I've started watching High School Musical 2. We've watched High School Musical 2, but I've started watching High School Musical, the show. And that's been really fun. So there'll be new episodes of that every so often on the $10 tier. But if you want to join the $5 tier with our fucking really sick extension that syncs everything up automatically and watch this episode of Glee with us, then you should. If you're still not convinced somehow, Stans, what do they need to do? Well, what are we going to show right now?
We're going to show them a little clip. We're going to give them a quick hit, a nip, some hair of the dog. And if they like it, they'll subscribe. Thank you. Exactly. So here it is.
Sometimes there's that little spark.
Whoa, wait,
what the hell?
Which
shoe is such a piece of shit. And we're back. A great, sexy episode.
It was, dude. Actually very sexy. And also a little cringe. Let's get into it. Where do you want to start?
That should be the subtext for Glee. Sexy, a little cringe.
Yeah. A lot of song. Because maybe that's where we start. Because I was saying at the end of the episode with the final performance, that the music, it was competing with a behemoth that was Sectional's last episode of literally 2 out of the 4 nominated songs for best song of the previous 14 episodes were from last episode. So it had a lot to compete with. And I think it stood its ground. I think this was a great episode for songs. I was having a good time.
It did, yeah. They had more songs than usual. They played them longer than usual. It felt like a longer episode than usual. But it was good.
Yeah, I think obviously you would prefer if they cut off a verse and chorus off every one of the songs.
I need about 30 seconds of each song, and then I'm ready to move on.
But still, regardless, if you were still able to say that you had a good time, that shows that the songs must have been pretty good.
I did have a good time, and the songs were good.
Specifically for me, there was only a snippet of it, but Highway to Hell, I forgot the fucking vocals in that performance, dude. Jesse St. James is a fucking demon.
Well, that's why he's the best singer on the best school. They've won nationals 3 years in a row, bro.
Yeah, to be able to for Jonathan Groff to come in and be able to give that performance as well as he does, you have to be some kind of superhuman crazy person to be able to just first episode come into a new show and be the best singer, performer, best character, charismatic, everything. If that's your character, the amount of pressure that you have to uphold, he fucking knocks it out the park. But enough, because I know a lot about Jesse St. James. He's my favorite character. Stans, opinions on Jesse St. James first, or initial impressions?
Yeah, his goal or the objective of his character in this episode is just to be the male confident version of our queen, right?
Yes.
It's this is what you could
He's
be. This
the
is the
bigger, better version that
yes.
is oh my god, this is Rachel's perfect boyfriend. Basically, they've crafted.
Yeah, but not even boyfriend. It's her perfect boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Sorry. It's who she. It's fine. It's who she wants to be. Right? Literally, which is why she likes him, I think, even more than he's cute or he's talented or these things, right? She sees showbiz and aspirations.
And it happens just at the right time for her to need that when Finn was being extra cringe.
Finn was being extra cringe.
We can get into that in a second, but I think we should address the confusion that both of us had at the start of this episode because we've talked about how it's the mid-season finale, but I didn't think there was going to be that drastic of a change, in between episodes. If you didn't know that this was a mid-season finale, whatever, this is just another episode, so much it changes in between. It feels like we've missed an episode in between, right? It was crazy.
Yeah, Finn and Rachel are dating. You have Shu and Emma dating. A lot of characters just no longer care about a certain thing. There's not a lot of Quinn in there besides the fact that Finn maybe still liked her. That's already gone. There's not a lot of Puck.
Yeah, they do
honestly
like
not a lot of anyone.
There isn't. They do a huge synopsis of like basically they needed to get Rachel and Finn together so that they could break up, so that Rachel could go crawling to James, so that then Finn could end up fighting for Rachel in the end. Which there's a whole lot to do in one episode. It's crazy that they did that in an episode. And I was kind of sad for me because I want there to like be a definitive like will they, won't they, Rachel and Finn kind of vibe. And to go from...
Yeah, because obviously Finn wasn't into it. So it's like Rachel's into it, Finn is not. Now Finn is into it, Rachel is not.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel...
I like that, to be fair. I like the whole right person, wrong time kind of thing, where like one person likes them and the other person doesn't. But they went from that, which was the last we heard, was Finn was just really upset at Quinn, and Rachel obviously still liked him, and we know that Finn likes her. So... It was probably going to happen eventually that they got together, but there wasn't any hints of it last episode, and all of a sudden they're just spoilers. They're together, but Finn doesn't really want to be, and it's like
I think. Go ahead.
No. It's just weird. That's all I had. It was just like I
actually think that was strategic by the show, so that they didn't actually use all of the powder in the like Finn and Rachel canon. They can still actually have an arc of them like falling in love. It allows them to like break up and almost like pretend things happen without wasting our like emotional energy on it.
True. This isn't the moment we're supposed to be like, oh my god, Finn and Rachel are together. This is so sick.
Yeah, because they might need that in like the season 1 finale.
Yeah, it just hurts that they would get together initially and it not matter. Right. I want it to always matter because I like them together. But I think I said this during the recording that I'm happy to go through that because it leads to then Rachel getting with Jesse St. James. You cannot ever say getting with James. It's Jesse St. James, or it's not just Jesse. It's not just James. It's not just Saint. You've got to say the full name. Because I think when we did the shitty BuzzFeed quiz episodes ago, they were my vote stands for the best couple.
Ah, wow. Okay, I see. Well, that makes me think that he is not under the control of his drama teacher, or maybe he's going to change his mind at the end of season 1. There's some stuff I can intuit now.
There are no spoilers from me whatsoever on any of that. Right. I will only, whenever we have conversations about like overarching storylines that I know more about, I've become pretty good at like just saying what I know through the episodes that we've had so far and not like trying to like allude at any spoilers. But like you saw the way he looked at Adele Delzeem at the end, right?
Yeah. Isn't it Idina Menzel? Am I losing my mind? You keep calling her the wrong name constantly.
I think it's funny, and it confuses you every time for some reason, even though I've done it 3 times.
I'm in the wrong here. And I'm like, well, that's just not her name.
No, it is Idina Menzel, to be clear.
Okay,
but, John Travolta called Adele Delzeem at the Oscars. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know where it came from.
Wait, have you not seen the clip?
No, I've never seen that clip. I had no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, you must have. Because that's where the meme comes from.
I've never seen the meme. I thought you just got her name wrong.
When I said it and you reacted to it, I thought you'd seen this clip, which is why I was like, that's why I didn't show you in the moment.
No, I was just confused. I was just extremely confused.
I wanted to show you if it was going to be the first time that you would ever see it. So this is it. We're going to watch it. You ready?
I'm ready.
So this is at the Oscars, and I think it was when like Frozen was nominated for something or something like that. And he goes like the wickedly talented. It's like crazy. He doesn't know how to speak. It feels it's hard to watch. Okay.
There will always be a special place in my heart for the movie musical and for the songs that create their most memorable moments. Here to perform the Oscar-nominated, gorgeously empowering song, Let It Go, from the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen.
Here it comes.
Please welcome the wickedly talented, one and only Adele Delzeem.
He actually crushed it all the way up until, in my opinion.
The wickedly talented. No, the wickedly talented is so funny.
Wicked. She's in Wicked. It's funny. He's like wickedly
he's obviously reading a teleprompter, and it says Idina Menzel, and he's like, "What the fuck is that name?"
Yeah, he actually he fucked it and then just walked off the stage. He didn't try and correct
Adele Delzeem.
That's so funny. Yeah,
And the internet went fucking crazy at the time, and they were like, "Sorry, who's performing?" And it was a huge meme.
Right. Okay, that's good. I love it.
That's so funny that you hadn't seen that.
No, I had no idea what you're talking about.
So you had no context the whole time. Every time that I went,
literally
Adele
just thought you
Delzeem.
didn't know what her name was, and I was like, "Hey, man, I think it's Idina Menzel." Like 4 times.
Yeah, the way that you reacted initially, I was like, "No, it's Adele Delzeem," and then you started laughing, which made me feel like you understood the joke that I was making. So I never explained it. That's so funny.
Well, now we're here.
That with that level of context, I've said that, like you said, like 4 times, twice during the episode. you corrected me each time. That's great.
I wanted to respect her name, man.
You should, yeah. People should get her name right. I was I thought we were on the same page. That's amazing. So yeah, a bit of a side tangent. The way that Jesse St. James looks at Adele Delzeem in that scene is crazy because
and creepy.
Yeah, it's first of all, like I said in the thing, kissing anyone with your eyes open is fucking crazy. Don't do that.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely alludes to something. But what could it allude to, Stans?
Yeah, I mean, is she doing that to sabotage the team? Is he in love with his drama teacher? There's like a lot of things that could be happening.
Yeah, there was a lot of mixed signals because when Will Schuester was talking to the Idina Menzel, I'll get her name right this time, when she was like sassily talking back to him, it seemed like she was like being aggressive and there wasn't really like, I don't know. I got the wrong vibe from that. Did you think they were going to start fucking, Stans? What was that about?
Oh, I mean, she gave him the eyes. I didn't think he would fall for it because he's dating Emma, right? But no, he did.
The vibe that I got
the door
from that,
and he walked in.
Yeah. The vibe that I got from watching the scene was like it felt like she was admitting to him actually being a spy. And I was like, oh, damn, she's just straight up saying it. But turns out those eyes were not like, hey, bring it on. It was like, hey, bring it on, you know? It was the other way, and I didn't see it like that. It was just, it threw me through a loop because I genuinely forgot that's what happens in this episode. There's a lot that I've forgotten, it seems.
Which is good. It makes it better to watch.
Yeah. But the bit that I didn't forget was Rachel and Jesse. Dude, their chemistry is so good.
It was good. Yeah, whether it was Hello on the piano, the Lionel Richie tune, whether it was them just like hanging out with each other on the stage, her telling him how he feels and that she doesn't want to be hurt again. It was all great.
So they, like the actual actors, Lea Michele and Jonathan Groff, are like best friends in real life. And
cool.
That she's the reason that he's on the show, and like vice versa for like a load of roles that they used to get. They were both in a like the thing that Rachel was known for before Glee. The reason that she was basically able to get this role in like Broadway,
it was wasn't it?
That was when she was like a kid, I think.
Oh, God.
But she was in something in between. That I can't remember the name of. He was also in it. I only know this because in like the early episodes of Binge and Cringe, there were so many Glee frogs in the Discord just spouting off fucking amazing facts and knowledge.
Really?
And they were like roommates all the way through like university and stuff, going through drama school. So
that's sick.
They've been like friends for a long time, like going through the industry together. So that's why they have such good chemistry with each other, because they're just really fucking good friends, which I think is why they're my like favorite coupling.
Interesting.
Even just from this episode, right? Like so far, I like currently in Glee, these two are my favorite by far. I don't think there's a better couple that we've had yet.
Interesting. Okay, I respect that.
Who would compete for you, do you think? Like love,
Brittany and Santana. Absolutely rock solid.
Sorry, they've done nothing so far. What are you talking about?
But they've never left each other's side, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, even when Finn is at their side, they're like, go away, Finn.
Yeah, they're still together. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's big. That's big for me.
That is big. They are monumental, but they've not done anything yet, Stans. You have somehow chosen the only couple that could compete in my eyes. But they've done nothing yet.
I can just tell.
But you're wrong now.
But I can just tell because I can see the future.
Yeah, you can see in the future. So true.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the plot of this episode. We've talked about like emotions and feelings and characters and all that shit.
Sure.
The biggest plot for me, because we've talked about Jesse and Rachel, which is, that's great. Let's talk about Will and Emma and then the cheating thing that we kind of touched on. Fucked, right?
Yeah, Will sucks. Will's always sucked. I've been day one member of the anti-Will task force. I've never liked Will, never will like Will. Fuck that guy. I don't know what you want from me. He's a piece of shit. He's the worst. He's the worst.
Yeah, he specifically this episode has come. There was a couple of episodes there, like towards the end of like the mid-season, where he was all right. He hadn't really done anything that bad, and
right, but he hadn't done anything that good, to be clear. He just was doing.
You were talking about that, like the monologues, the couple of episodes that he'd had, like the lead up of him.
Well performed.
The lead up of him getting with Emma. I feel like it felt to me like finally we're gonna like actually get to a point where he's doing good things and like he's nearly been redeemed. We've gone far away from the cringe that we've kind of forgotten that he's a piece of shit.
Right, and even in the first half of this episode, he was like nice and sweet to Emma and like, hey, take your time on everything. But then the second she wouldn't have sex with him, he's an incel. That's the thing about him. The second she wouldn't have sex with him, the next line we see him say about her is like, I just don't think it's going to work out when he's talking to the other coach.
To be clear,
like,
that's not what an incel is. But I know what you're saying, because that's like the opposite of an incel.
Involuntary. No, it's incel. Involuntary celibate. He wanted to have sex. She said no.
Yeah, so then he went and would have had sex with someone else, and he chose not to.
Sure, but for a moment he was an incel. He was an incel after she let him down.
I don't think you could say for a moment he is an incel, because at some point, hey, for a moment, aren't we all incels? You know, have you never been turned down? Nope. You've never been rejected in your life stance?
I'm a bit of a Casanova myself.
I don't think getting rejected equals being an incel, but I understand that you could take the definition as that for sure.
I'm a volcel, bro. Who needs it?
Oh no, that's the second time. I think last fucking episode that we recorded, you talked about not having sex before marriage or during marriage. So
no. Yes, before. You don't even remember the bit.
No,
it
because
was
the
yes before marriage, no post marriage, both straight and gay.
Yeah, but you're married.
Yeah.
Did you see? That's what I'm saying, Stans.
Yeah, but I think you should have sex before you're married, straight or gay.
So all you say, that's what I'm saying. Twice in the last two episodes, you have told us that you are voluntary celibate twice.
Right. Maybe there's something to unpack there.
Yeah, so true. Every bit ends in you not having sex.
Yeah, interesting. Me and Schuster.
Oh, shit. That's why you hate him so much. You see yourself in him.
I see myself in him. Just two curly-haired lads.
Yeah.
So are we in agreement? Schuster sucks. We hate him.
Yeah. I mean, he cheated
Emma told him
Emma.
to slow down even 2 episodes ago, where she's like, you just got divorced. She tried to tell him.
Yeah.
And he went, no, I love you. I want to kiss you. This is our song. And he just boomed her, bro.
Yeah. The part that annoyed me was less that Schuster was cringe, which is like a given at this point. It was the way the episode was written around that, because they do that a lot in the show where Schuster does a cringe thing and they try and act like it's not that cringe and that it's fine.
He never has to pay the consequences of his actions. Like literally ever.
Like if you're going to do a storyline where the main character of your show cheats on the person that you've been building them up to be with and they're finally together and then he cheats on her, that has to be involved in the resolution of their storyline. You can't then not address it and then break up for a completely different reason and have no moment where Schuster even slightly goes, damn, I mean, I did cheat on her. Maybe I should feel guilty about that for a second. Oh, well, like there wasn't even an addressing of that even slightly, which is crazy from a
in fact,
writing
she
perspective.
said like, hey, when you're ready, I'll be ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We said in the moment, it feels like it was like lifting Schuster up to be like the bigger person. Like he needs to go and have some self-reflection and then he can come back and date Emma and it'll be great.
Yeah.
And she,
or the other coach and it'll be great. But it's like
And she specifically was like, hey, if we get back together, maybe we can get a little messy. And it's like, no, in this context, as a viewer, I don't want that to happen because he's cheated on her. And at least before they get a little messy, he needs to atone for those actions. And Emma doesn't even know those actions happened, which I guess is fine if at some point they come back to that and address it. But just because of the lack of weight that they gave to any of that during this episode, it doesn't feel like they're going to come back and address it.
You know they're not going to come back and address it.
And even if they do, it doesn't mean that it was well written this episode, right? Like, I should be left with this episode, like, that Emma knows that he's cringe, and instead, it's like she's going to be, like, still pawning after him every episode, but knowing they can't be together because he's got to go and do his own thing. Speaking of pining after someone, that is now fucking flip the tables. That's what Finn is doing with Rachel, which is a crazy turn of events.
They have turned around. He realized that she actually was right in her speech, which you called over the top, and that she's the only one who understands him. And now that he can't have it, it's tough for him.
It is. I would have loved so many of those moments if they had built up to it rather than just, okay, they're together now.
She literally said it like out loud.
Yeah. So that was the annoying part for most of the bits in the episode, because there was a lot of emotions and there wasn't really much weight to it because we hadn't seen the build up. But I think you were right in what you said, which is they need to save the juice for when they're like together and
correct. Yeah, there's
not
a real
instantly
arc.
break up. So I understand it. It felt hollow because of that. But if it needs to feel hollow so that Jesse St. James could date her, that's fine.
Fair.
And I'm excited for them actually being characters in the show. Like, this isn't just the only episode they're in it. Obviously, like, she's dating Jesse St. James, so he is going to be a recurring character for the foreseeable future. I knew they were in it. I didn't know they started dating as soon as they were in it. So this is
literally episode 1.
Yeah, this is great news for me.
Good.
They can also get away with him not being in every episode because they're secretly dating and they go to a different school. So we'll see what happens. But either way, I am very excited for the future. And it's great because usually after like a mid-season finale, I think you should be like, it should feel like, okay, now we've got to like reset things and blah, blah. Like, it's going to be like a bad episode. This was great. I had a good time.
Yeah, I think they kept up the momentum for sure.
Oh, Stans.
Oh?
I've just had a look at what is next episode.
Pre-watch Perry in the flesh.
Just the title. The Power of Madonna.
Oh, God.
So,
Like a virgin Emma. Oh, interesting.
Yo, interesting.
There might be something there.
So I think we've not had an episode like this before where it is a themed episode, as in
a tribute to an artist,
around a specific artist. Yeah, there is a lot of them in Glee, so this is the first one. This is the Madonna episode, which I'm very excited for.
It'll be great.
So that's next week. So if you are down, then tune in next week. And I can't think of anything else to talk about this episode, Stan. So you got any other little tidbits?
All I've got to say is a little surprise goes a long way.
Wait, is that a catchphrase? What's the catchphrase of
Yep, it's a catchphrase. If you don't know it, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I'm just going to Google it now.
Google it if you want to, but don't tell the people.
Well, that's why I'm Googling it.
They have to Google it on their own.
Kinder? Oh, that's so cringe.
Why is that? What's cringe about that, bro?
Aren't you fucking cringers not even allowed to have Kinder surprises anymore?
Yeah, it's too dangerous for us.
Yeah.
I think they only have candy on the inside now, no toys.
That's crazy. You idiots choking on your Kinder surprises. Anyway, that's a great catchphrase. Woo!
I don't feel like you thought so. See you guys next time.
To be fair, I don't know what I expect from a catchphrase. I'm never going to be like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. That was poignant.
It's almost like you should come up with a different thing to say in the outro.
I love it because it keeps people on their toes. But then when you spoil it, it doesn't help because
how
then
does
people
it
don't look it
keep
up.
people on their toes? What are they?
Because everyone goes, ooh, what's it going to be? And then they go, ooh, I got to look that up.
Okay, sure.
And then they stay till the end. They stay till the end, bro.
They stay till the end. Hey,
all right,
leave a comment if you stayed all the way to the end, specifically just for the catchphrase.
I mean, there's going to be hundreds of comments now. You've actually opened up thousands, maybe. All right, we're getting out of here. Take it easy.
Bye, gang. Bye.